The universal century has always been a graveyard of ideals, but never has the soil felt as cold or the mud as heavy as it does in Gundam, Requiem for Vengeance. When we look back at the 2024 Netflix release, we aren't just looking at another entry into the sprawling Mobile Suit Gundam franchise, we are witnessing a tonal seismic shift. This is a story told from the mud-caked boots of the losing side, a perspective that strips away the heroic glamour of the Federation and replaces it with the sheer, unadulterated terror of being hunted by a mechanical god. To understand this series is to understand that war is not a series of glorious battles, but a slow, grinding process of erosion where the soul vanishes long before the body fails. The setting is the European front during the 11th month of the one-year war. The year is UC0079, a date etched into the minds of every Gundam fan, yet the world we see here feels alien and visceral. The Principality of Zeon is crumbling. Their initial blitzkrieg has stalled, and the Earth Federation forces are beginning to reclaim the planet with a terrifying new weapon. This is the stage upon which Captain Iria Solari and her Red Wolf Squadron must dance. But this is no waltz. It is a desperate scramble for survival in a landscape that has forgotten the meaning of mercy. The most immediate and striking element of Requiem for Vengeance is its visual language, powered by Unreal Engine 5. For decades, Gundam has lived in the realm of hand-drawn cell animation or stylized CGI. Here, the technology pushes the franchise into the uncanny valley of warfare. Every rivet on a Zaku II's shoulder, every scratch on a Heat Hawk, and every puff of exhaust feels weighted with physical presence. The mobile suits are no longer agile samurai, they are multi-ton industrial nightmares. When they move, the ground doesn't just rumble, it yields. The mud splashes with a thickness that you can almost smell, a mixture of oil, dirt, and blood. This photorealism serves a narrative purpose. It removes the safety net of cartoonish violence and forces the viewer to acknowledge the claustrophobia of the cockpit. Captain Solari is the beating heart of this mechanical requiem. She is not a wide-eyed teenager thrust into a cockpit by destiny, as is the trope in many Gundam series. She is a professional, a musician-turned-soldier who carries the weight of her losses like a physical burden. Her leadership of the Red Wolf Squadron isn't defined by grand speeches, but by the quiet, desperate competence of a woman trying to keep her family alive in a house that is already on fire. The writing chooses to focus on her internal silence, the pauses between her orders where you can see the toll of the war reflected in her eyes, rendered with startling detail that captures every flicker of doubt and determination. Then, there is the monster. In almost every other Gundam story, the titular suit is the beacon of hope, the white base savior, the hero's steed. In Requiem for Vengeance, the Gundam X is a horror movie villain. It is the white devil of Zeon propaganda made flesh, or rather, made titanium and circuitry. It does not fly with grace, it descends like an avenging angel of death. The way the series frames the Gundam is revolutionary. We see it through the jittery sensors of a Zaku, through the terrified eyes of infantrymen hiding in the ruins, and through the flickering monitors of a command center about to be obliterated. It moves with an unnatural, predatory speed that defies its size. It doesn't just defeat its enemies, it erases them. The sound design plays a crucial role here, replacing the heroic hum of the beam saber with a terrifying, high-pitched shriek that signals the end of everything. This shift in perspective is the series' greatest triumph. By casting the Federation as an overwhelming, almost faceless antagonist, the show forces us to humanize the Zeon soldiers, the very people who, in the broader lore, dropped colonies on Earth. It's a nuanced take on the banality of evil and the complexity of soldiers on the wrong side of history. We see the camaraderie of the Red Wolf Squadron, their shared meals, their jokes, and their mourning. They aren't monsters, they are people caught in the gears of a geopolitical machine they cannot control. This makes their inevitable encounters with the Gundam all the more tragic. Each loss isn't just a machine exploding, it's a seat at the dinner table that will forever stay empty. The pacing of the series mimics the tension of a siege. There is a relentless forward momentum, a sense that the Federation's Operation Odessa is an unstoppable tide. The skirmishes are short, violent, and chaotic. Gone are the long, philosophical debates mid-battle that characterized earlier Gundam entries. Here, if you stop to talk, you die. The action is frantic, often viewed through the mud-spattered cameras of the mobile suits, giving the viewer a sense of being trapped within the iron shell alongside the pilots. The choreography emphasizes the brutality of melee combat between giants. When a Gundam's beam saber connects with a Zaku's armor, the result isn't a clean cut. It's a molten, explosive mess of melting metal and screaming alarms. Furthermore, the environmental storytelling in Requiem for Vengeance is masterful. The ruins of Romania serve as a grim reminder of the war's cost to the civilian population and the planet itself. Forests are scorched, cities are hollowed out, and the very sky seems permanently choked with the soot of burning fuel. This isn't the bright, colorful space opera aesthetic of Gundam Seed or the polished military procedural of Gundam 00. This is a dirty, grimy, and exhausted world. It echoes the masterpieces like 08 THMS Team but takes the ground war aesthetic to its logical, hyper-realistic conclusion. The musical score is equally subversive. Eschewing the triumphant orchestral swells of the past, the music here is atmospheric, dissonant, and haunting. It reflects Solari's background as a musician, turning the Requiem of the title into a literal theme. The soundscape is filled with the groans of stressed metal, the distant thunder of artillery, and a silence that is often more terrifying than the noise. It builds a sense of dread that rarely lets up, reminding the audience that in this story, vengeance isn't a goal. It's a cycle that consumes everyone involved. In the end, Gundam, Requiem for Vengeance stands as a testament to the versatility of the universal century. It proves that there are still new ways to tell the oldest story in the franchise. It challenges the viewer to look past the hero and the villain and see the human cost of the machine. It is a visually stunning, emotionally draining, and intellectually provocative addition to the mythos. It tells us that while the war might be fought by giants, it is suffered by the small, the broken, and the brave who find themselves standing in the shadow of the White Devil.